Hello, everyone, and welcome to Stories from Motorsports. I'm your co-host usually, Justin Putzier. Alongside of me, taking over for Doug today, is Kenny. How are you guys doing? And with us today is Sam Mayer, driver of the number 7 Xfinity car for JR Motorsports. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing really good today. How about yourself, buddy?
Doing well. So let's jump right into this. So, Sam, I did some research and it says online you're 18 years old. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And it says you're from Wisconsin online?
Yeah, I grew up in Wisconsin, and I actually just recently moved down to North Carolina this last year, so I could focus full-time on racing with JR Motorsports.
Nice. So, Jenny has some questions for you.
So I'm going to start with, how long have you been racing?
I've been racing just in general since I was 4 years old. I started all the way back then in go-karts. I raced at my local, just little road course, like about an hour away from my house, pretty much every Sunday. And eventually, I wanted to do something a little more than just that every day. And my dad ended up getting hooked up with an agent down in North Carolina. And he got us hooked up with a bunch of teams down here that do like legend cars and late models and stuff like that. And we did that for like 3 or 4 years, and eventually we moved up to the ARCA series, and that's where I got hooked up with GMS Racing and JR Motorsports in the Drivers Ed Development Program.
Nice. So that kind of answered my second question was, what division did you start in?
Yeah, I started in go-karts. I was 4 years old, obviously, so I could only do so much with the resources that we had and also just my age. So I did go-karts for, I guess, about 10 years before I even started doing the car racing stuff. So I have a lot of experience in the go-karts, and that's how I got my start.
Yeah, that's pretty common.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Sam, how would you run in Phoenix?
Yeah, we had a lot of speed in Phoenix. Obviously, I made a couple mistakes on pit road, and it costed us a decent finish. But the car showed a lot of speed, and it was really good. And the track was really fun too. NASCAR did a really good job of spraying the resin down and doing a good job of taking care of the racetrack while we were gone. So the racing was really good, and my Accelerate Chevy Camaro was really fast too. So I got to thank JR Motorsports for that.
Yeah, and so who is your crew chief this year in JR Motorsports? Did that one
my
part
crew
stay the
chief,
same?
Yeah, my crew chief is Taylor Moyer. He's been crew chief for about 3 years now in the Xfinity Series, and he actually got his start in racing when he was 18 years old as well. And he started working at Hendrick Motorsports, and he was just a race engineer over there. He wasn't Mr. Big Time over here like he is now, but he started as a race engineer, and eventually he got a job at JR Motorsports being a crew chief.
Sam, what is your favorite part of racing?
I'd say my favorite part is just the competition, constantly being up against other really good drivers and having to work your best to beat the best. And so just the competition behind it too. And I guess there's a lot of people that say like they love the speed of it, and that's really fun too. Like Phoenix, you're going pretty fast. Daytona, you're really going fast, and that's a lot of fun. But it's really fun just being in competition with a lot of other talented drivers.
That leads into my next question. How is your relationship with your other teammates, the 7, the 8, and the 9?
Yeah, our relationship is really good. JR Motorsports is kind of like one big happy family type thing. That's how they like to run their shop as like one big family. And like I get along with Justin really well. Like I've known him for four years now, I guess. And he's kind of helped me build my career up because I've known him so long in the sport, because I'm only 18. So obviously that's a long time for me. But I have a good relationship with him, and Noah as well. Like obviously we're closer in age, so we get along in different ways than me and Justin would, or even me and Josh would. So Noah's kind of like a big brother type feel to me. He takes care of me in the sense of like at the racetrack being positive and stuff like that. And Josh Berry as well. Like I ran late models with him back in 2018, a couple of years ago. And so he's kind of built my career up too, more from the ground up, I guess you could say. So we have a really good relationship there too.
That's great. So what sparked your interest into racing?
Yeah, so obviously starting at such a young age, usually your parents have kind of a big influence on you and what you want to do when you grow up. So my dad raced IndyCar for a while when I was super, super young. And that's kind of what got me into racing to begin with, and even got me interested in holding a steering wheel in my hand. So I got to thank him for that, obviously. And obviously, go-karts is something that you kind of would do if you were to go like the IndyCar route, because they're similar and road racing and stuff like that. But literally one day I was just like, hey, you know what? I'd rather go the NASCAR route. And my dad was like, oh, I don't know anyone in the NASCAR industry. So that's how we got hooked up with an agent down here.
Interesting.
So I have to know, how is your relationship with Taylor Moyer and your whole JR Motorsports one team?
Yeah, obviously I got to work with these same guys last year. So we already kind of had that relationship built up from last year, and it's a really good relationship. Like I get along with Taylor really well. He's like I said before, he's like a really big brother to me type feeling, because he takes care of me. He teaches me things that I don't know, and he helps me go fast and try to go out and win races too. So we have a really solid relationship. We're really excited for this year. And obviously the rest of the one team, they're really they've had it rough the last couple of years, because they only have like one win under their belt, but excuse me, but they deserve about 10. So I'm gonna try to go out there and make it up for them.
Well, we wish you luck with that. And also, do you have anybody you want to thank for your racing career? And I always ask people this, and every answer is different, but what would you say you want people to take away from your very young racing career up to this point?
Yeah, I mean, like the biggest thing I want people to understand is like the learning curve at such a young age in an industry that you have to be really experienced to be a part of is something very sharp. And obviously I've had a really successful career so far, whether that be in the go-karts that I started in, or the legend cars that I did, and late models with JR Motorsports back in 2018, or even with the ARCA racing series with GMS of the last couple of years. Like it's been a lot of fun. I've learned a lot. I've come a long way as a driver. And I was actually thinking about this the other day. I wonder what I would have done at Phoenix 3-4 years ago when I first started. Like, I wonder how different of a race car driver I was and how much better I am today. And that's one thing I want people to understand is like the progress is very, very slow. But once you get there, it's going to be really good. And I can't thank everyone around me enough for all the support, because I wouldn't be here today without my dad, especially.
Yeah, it takes a lot of support. That's for sure.
Yes, it does.
I'm sure.
So, talk to us about the upcoming race in Atlanta. How do you feel going into that race?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that not a lot of teams know what's going to be going on. Obviously, the new configuration and everything like that is a great unknown for a lot of people, and me included. So it's going to be an interesting race for sure, because it's going to be like we're going out there blind, just trying to hit the marks as best we can. And see what happens. So I'm excited for it. It should be a lot of fun. I think the cars can be really fast compared to a lot of other people. So we should be good.
Well, one more question, then we're short on time and we have to wrap up. So Toby, does your parents go to every race that you go to?
Yeah, so my dad comes to pretty much every single one. I think this year he'll end up coming to like 25 out of the 33 races. And my mom will come to, I think, 3 or 4, depending on what she wants to do and what tracks she wants to go to, because she's a fan of mine. She supports me 100%, but she likes watching on TV because she can't get the sense of speed, how fast we're going. So she doesn't really like to watch in person because it stresses her out. But she'll come to a couple races and she'll be there for me. But yeah, mostly my dad, because he's the one that kind of got me here. So he likes to come and enjoy the races.
Awesome. Well, before we wrap up, do you have any thoughts as to wanting to thank your sponsors for the support this year?
Absolutely. First off, I want to thank you for the opportunity to thank everyone else, because not a lot of people do that anymore. So giving me the opportunity, that's really awesome. But I can't thank my dad enough for all he's done. Just all the sacrifices he's made with his work and his time and everything like that. That means a lot to me, because I wouldn't be here today without him. And obviously JR Motorsports too, because giving me the opportunity to come out and race in the NASCAR Xfinity Series is a really big deal, and only 38 people have that opportunity. So I can't thank them enough, and I'm gonna prove them that I belong here and make them proud.
Well, on behalf of Stories from Motorsports, I'd like to thank you for coming on, and we wish you tons of luck in the remaining races of the year.
Thank you
Good
so much.
luck,
I appreciate
Sam.
it, Justin. Thank you, guys.
Yep, thank you.